All right, welcome to week 2. So I hope that you had a good first week of class and are kind of getting the hang of how this class works and where things are and how my Blackboard classes are structured and kind of the weekly rhythm of the course content and due dates. So this week I will be grading the things that you turned in last week, and I'll try to do that as soon as possible so that you can use that feedback to help you do your assignments going forward. So a lot of our assignments are kind of formatted in the same way. So hopefully, kind of getting that first week under your belt will help for the future week's assignments. So this week we are talking about the Olympic movement and kind of starting with the idea of Olympism. So there's a concept called Olympism, which means a lot of things, but some of the most important are things like achieving unity and a better world through sport. And that's a very big idea. So we're going to look at the formation of the Olympic Games around this concept of Olympism. However, the world isn't perfect and it's full of conflicts, and we have many famous international conflicts in our history. And we had some big global conflicts in the 40s and 50s that kind of affected the way the Olympics worked and what happened. We had some well-known boycotts during those years and some other conflicts that kind of played themselves out on a world stage through the Olympics. And so we're going to look at that just because it's an important part of the history of Olympics. And the Olympics are a major concept in sports in general. So it's kind of a nice intersection of history and sports in a way that history kind of definitely plays itself out through sports. So it's, the Olympics are very much a visible and international arena for, kind of for what's going on during the time. So that's why we're focusing heavily on the Olympics. It's just an important part of global history of our country and our society and the world we live in. So this week we have got 2 things due: your weekly reaction number 2 and your quiz number 2. This week's weekly reaction assignment uses another template. So just like you did last week, you're going to open up the template, type your own work into it, and then save it and upload it into the Blackboard tool. And it asks you to expand on last week's assignment. So last week you chose 3 philosophy topics that you might use to influence your work strategy as a PE professional or a health professional or a sport professional. And in that assignment, you found 2 quotes from your textbook for each philosophy that helped you to define that philosophy and support how it would influence your work. So this week, you're going to go further and you're going to look for 2 additional quotes outside of your textbook. So you're going to need to do some research and find some other sources. And these sources can be things like articles, books, blog posts, newsletters. And you're going to use these sources to additionally further define your philosophies and connect them to your work strategy. Just like you did in the first assignment, you're just finding additional sources beyond your textbook. And also in this assignment, you'll notice that I'm asking you to write a sentence that explains what that quote means to you and how it relates to your personal work strategy based on that philosophy. So that's what you're looking for when you are looking for those other quotes and those other sources. So, you've done this before in other classes where you've looked for sources that kind of support your point. So that's all we're doing. I'm asking you to find additional sources other than a textbook that support your point, that whatever philosophy you chose relates to your work and how you're going to connect those two. So as always, just ask me questions and I'm happy to help you. So I hope that you have a great week. And I will talk to you and I will be in communication with you frequently this week. Have a good week.